Happy Thursday, Bible and parents from North Central. Hopefully, you're preparing yourselves for this crazy menace named Harvey that's stirring in the Gulf, and definitely prayers that we will maybe not get as much rain and craziness as some of the forecasters are predicting. But, anyways, as this week has been the first week of school for some of you guys, I know next week a lot of our NEISD students they start school. I know that you may have a couple of questions regarding promotion. We're going to talk about that in a second, what to do and when will my kids go to their next class. But I'm going to start with a cool thing we're going to do this Sunday that we would love for your kids to participate in if possible. We're going to do a thing called the backpack blessing. Here's a backpack. Wow. And we invite your kids to actually bring their backpacks that they're going to use for school. To be prayed over. We're going to just ask God's blessing on this school year. We're specifically going to ask God's blessing and guidance for our kids as they go into school. He has called them to be whatever grade they're about to be in. And we know that every year is a little bit different, whether they're in a school setting, at a public private school, whether they're homeschooled, go to a co-op, anything like that, doesn't matter. He has called these boys and girls to a very special thing, which is called being whatever grade they're in and whatever class they're in next to whatever students they will be sitting by, even if it's brother and sister. And so we would just love as a neat symbol, as something that they can do to remember as we invite God into this thing, to bring their backpacks. We're going to have them prayed over. We're going to also do a really neat special thing, hopefully that will bless our teachers out there. So we hope they're there. If they show up without a backpack, it is okay. And they can still absolutely participate, but it just might be kind of fun to have some backpacks there, and it might help them even have a more tangible thing in their hand that they can have there with them as they pray and as we pray for God's blessing on this school year. Okay, so that'll be this Sunday back in Bible Land. We will do it during our large gathering time. Okay, now on to promotion. I've had a few questions lately. Hey, when do my kids move up to their next grade? This summer, there have been certainly times where I've told you guys, if you've asked me, hey, if you want, you are welcome to go ahead and let them move to their next class. I realize that some of our classes, you move up, say, from second to third grade, hey, you're in the same room. But if you're from third to fourth grade, or from first grade to second grade, for example, that involves going to a new room with a new teacher. Now, on your stickers, it has not reflected a change yet. But I've been fine with you as long as that room and that teacher does not feel like there's too many kids in the room. You're welcome to do that. But I will tell you that on August 28th, which is a Monday, our database auto-promotes. So even this Sunday, it will reflect what grade they were in last school year. But you're welcome if they want to move up, that's fine. And just know that by September 3rd, all the current new grades will be reflected, and you can do that. Last thing, one of the things I brought up last week in our video that there was a new check-in system that is very similar to our former one, but the database kind of works things a little bit different here and there. And one of them, you may notice, a few families might have noticed that it may give you a choice of a couple of rooms to put your kids in. That is up to you then to say, well, I want my child in that room. Okay, so if this is mainly around grades and ages, that there could be some flexibility with who they are. A perfect example is a 5-year-old or a kindergartner. There are plenty of kindergartners who are still 5 years old, for example. There are plenty of 5-year-olds who are not kindergartners. So in our database, the way that they have set that up for now is to say, hey, let's just give parents a choice. So if your child is a kindergartner, go ahead and put them in the older or elementary tab. That will usually be the one on the top for you to touch on the touch screen, or early childhood, which would be a 4-year-old, 5-year-old class, for example. You can put them down in there. So you have a choice to do that there. Because we realize that sometimes parents have held a kid back also. We did that ourselves with our oldest son. And so while they might be old enough to be in kindergarten or even older than that, we don't want them there yet. So you have a choice there in many of those cases. If you have any other questions, please come see me on Sunday. Thank you for taking a few minutes. Once again, have a great rest of the week. Stay dry. Be praying for safety for a lot of people here in our state and our city, because it could get a little interesting here. And as one who grew up around hurricanes their whole life in the Houston area, it can be kind of nutty. So anyways, be staying peeled to your news stations, all those things. I'm sure that will be helpful. Have a great rest of the week.